taught me every sound that old stone wheel could make. How fine to grind the winter wheat, how coarse the corn should break. I weighed each sack and swept the floor, kept every measure straight. Some men still watch with doubtful eyes, but flour would prove my trade. 3 days of rain had swelled the creek and washed the bridge away. Then Sunday morn a muddy boy came running up the lane. There was flour on my Sunday dress, but mercy had been working. I reached the church with dusty hands and knew that I had worshipped. He brought 2 sacks by mountain paths and set them at my door. The homes beyond the broken bridge have hardly any more. My church shoes waited by the bed, the chapel bell rang clear. I'd always shut the mill on Sunday and held that teaching dear. But rest could not mean bolted doors when hunger stood outside. So I pulled boots beneath my dress and raised the water gate. There was flour on my Sunday dress, but mercy had been working. I reached the church with dusty hands and knew that I had worshipped. The wooden gears began to turn, the millstones found their tune. White dust rose across my sleeves and filled the sunlit room. One passerby looked hard at me and shook his head beside the road. Then others saw the waiting sacks and understood the load. The blacksmith brought a length of rope, Miss Seda brought her jars. 2 farmers shouldered flour bags along the ridgeside path. I came in late and took the bag with meal upon my hands. No one called my labor holy, no one asked me where I'd been. The preacher read a mercy shown when need is at the door, and I could hear the mill wheels slow beyond the chapel floor. That work had not replaced the hymn or made the Sabbath small. It joined the prayer I came to pray, with bread enough for all. There was flour on my Sunday dress, but mercy had been working. I reached the church with dusty hands and knew that I had worshipped. There was flour on my Sunday dress and no clean pride to carry. The Lord was honored at the mill before I reached the sanctuary. The wheel stood still by afternoon, the creek ran high and brown, but flour crossed the broken bridge to homes beyond the town.
I laid foundations in these hills, set chimneys straight and sound, fit field stone tied and cellar walls and steps on sloping ground. I took what folks could pay me then, or waited when they could, and wore my calloused hands with pride like any working man would. Then one cold day a stone slipped loose and crushed my lifting hand. The doctor bound it hard and said, "You'll need some weeks to mend." I wore another man's winter coat and learned what pride had never known. Grace is not only what we give, sometimes it's what we let come home. My old coat had a ragged lining, the wind came through each sleeve. Miss Ruth brought one from the church house room and asked me to receive. I said, some other man needs this, I'll make it through somehow. But cold kept me from morning chores, I still could manage then. I patched my coat beside the stove and stayed where none could see, till Ruth came back one bitter dawn and left the coat with me. I wore another man's winter coat and learned what pride had never known. Grace is not only what we give, sometimes it's what we let come home. I found small letters in the cloth sewn underneath the seam. J.T. and Paul and Samuel Reed, and names I'd known for years. A miner wore it while he healed, a farmer through lean days, one man while seeking steady work beyond the mountain grade. Each gave it back when strength returned for someone else to wear. That coat had crossed a dozen winters, carrying neighborly care. No wall stands by a single stone, though pride may call it strong. Each one must bear and be upheld to help the whole stand long. The Lord had taught my hands to give, but I had yet to see that shutting out another's help could steal their chance to carry me. At church I thanked Miss Ruth alone and asked where it should go. She said, just keep it till you're well, and leave it for the next hard coat. I wore another man's winter coat and learned what pride had never known. Grace is not only what we give, sometimes it's what we let come home. I wore another man's winter coat and shame grew lighter as I healed. A faithful heart must open both the giving and receiving hand. By spring my hand could lift the stone and hold the mason's line. I cleaned the coat and fixed one button and stitched my initials beside the rest. I hung it in the church house room where any man could know the warmth we offer comes around when we are humble enough to wear it. I've kept this little churchyard clean since I was 21. Cut grass around the family stones and mended fences one by one. I knew the names beneath the moss, the kin in every row. But when I came to my father's place, I worked and hurried on. He worked his hands from dawn till dark, but kindness stayed out of reach. His words could make a young boy feel he had no welcome there. I straightened the stone, not the story. Grace never called the wrong thing right. It did not change the man he was. It changed what I carried home that night. winter frost had heaved the ground, the spring rain softened the clay, and half the stones leaned toward the hill when I came there one April day. I fixed the Joneses, set the fields, raised every sunken name, then left my father leaning there and told myself next spring. No family stood beyond the gate, no eye could watch me leave, but even in his silence still, he governed where I'd kneel. I straightened the stone, not the story. Grace never called the wrong thing right. It did not change the man he was, it changed what I carried home that night. I set my shovel in the mud and knelt beside his name, remembered one old broken tool for which I bore the blame. The night he would not hear me out, the door shut in my face, and our last talk when both our tongues left wounds we could not take away. His hardness was not mine to own, nor mine to make seem small, but I had fed my bitter words and wished men knew him by his faults. I lifted up the weathered stone, put gravel underneath, then leveled out the softened earth and packed it firm beneath. I washed the mud but changed no line, and carved no praise I could not give. I only prayed, Lord, judge him true and teach me how to live. I cannot call his coldness love or say those words were kind, but I am tired of bringing home the quarrel he left behind. I straightened the stone, not the story. Grace never called the wrong thing right. It did not change the man he was, it changed what I carried home that night. I straightened the stone, not the story. The hurt remained, but lost its claim. I left the judgment with the Lord and walked home lighter than I came. Next Sunday, when they spoke his name in prayer beneath the pine, I heard it with my hands held still, not healed, but no longer clenched so tight.
I kept a room above the store with north light through the pane, a wooden camera on its stand, and glass plates in their frame. I photographed the wedding folk, the mill hands and their wives, then worked a pencil on the glass to soften weathered lines. I brushed away a spot or crease, a wrinkle, stain or trace, believing kindness meant to hide what judgment might disgrace. I left the scar in the photograph. Grace would not ask the glass to lie. She stood there whole before my lens, more than the mark beside her eye. Miss Clara came one afternoon to send her sister west, a likeness made beneath the cloth, her Sunday collar pressed. A fire years before had left one quiet mark to bear. I turned her gentler side toward me and moved the window chair. She said, "Please let me face you plain. My sister knew me then, but I would have her see the woman I have become since then. I did not walk through flame in years to have kind hands conceal the face I carry through this life and know to be my own. I left the scar in the photograph. Grace would not ask the glass to lie. She stood there whole before my lens, more than the mark beside her eye. I set the chair before the light and let her choose her place. No lifted chin, no mournful look, no lesson on her face. She stood as any woman would, with steady eyes and calm. And when the plate was washed and fixed, her story rested whole. Inside the dark room, pencil raised, I paused above the line, then cleared the dust and left untouched what never had been mine. When Clara held the finished print, she studied it a while. She did not say, "I'm fair," despite, nor force a grateful smile. She touched the edge and softly said, "That is me," then took it home. A face not made for pity's gaze, a life no less made whole. Her sister wrote some weeks from then. I knew those eyes, that steady grace, the way you hold your shoulders still. I knew you right away. And I began to ask each soul what marks they wish to keep, for mercy does not choose for us which memories may speak. I left the scar in the photograph. Grace would not ask the glass to lie. She stood there whole before my lens, more than the mark beside her eye. I left the scar in the photograph and learned what honest kindness sees, not only what a life has suffered, but all the person still may be. I found my portrait in a drawer, my own hand smooth and clean. Those silver salts had marked the skin through years behind the screen. I made one more and left that trace, no greater claim or sign. Just one true hand beside the lens, and one true face in